It's the middle of the night. You have that strange urge to stuff yourself even though you've already eaten. So you saunter into the kitchen to get something. If this feels like a daily habit, or it happens at least twice a week, you could be suffering from night eating syndrome, or N.E.S. Hi viewers, and welcome back to Bestie. When you have N.E.S, you tend to eat food mostly at night while depriving yourself of sleep. Most people confuse night eating syndrome with emotional or binge eating, but it's not the same. A person suffering from night eating syndrome will eat consciously and graze on high-calorie food items to suffice their sudden food cravings. They may even wake up several times in the middle of the night to grab something heavy to eat. If you want to know more about this interesting syndrome, keep watching today's video where we'll tell you everything about it. From what it is to its causes to treatments and more. Watch until the end to learn more. So let's begin by telling you what exactly N.E.S is. A psychiatrist from the University of Pennsylvania discovered this syndrome in 1950. It's said to affect around 1.5% of the population and 25% of obese people. The best way to find out if you have N.E.S is to answer the following questions. Do you lack appetite in the morning? Do you get hunger pains between dinner and sleep? Do you suffer from insomnia 4 to 5 nights a week? Do you believe that eating is necessary for sleeping? Are you in a sullen mood in the evenings? You may have N.E.S if you answered yes to at least 3 of those questions. It should be noted that N.E.S is different from binge eating disorder or BED, wherein you're likely to eat a lot in a single sitting. With N.E.S, you tend to eat smaller amounts throughout the night. What's the weirdest eating disorder you've heard about? Tell us quickly down below in the comment section. Moving on, here are a few causes of this syndrome. An exact list of reasons isn't exactly available for night eating syndrome. In fact, the causes vary according to researchers. Like how N.E.S can begin with college students who develop a habit of late-night dinners, but are then unable to break this habit in their work life. Whereas some doctors feel it could be related to the cycles of sleep, waking schedule, and sometimes hormones. It can also be a response to dieting. People restrict and force themselves to diet all day long, so the resistance power of the brain drains at night. This results in eating excess food at night. Another theory explains it as a response to stress. People dealing with night eating syndrome may feel ashamed of their behavior, yet feel as though they have no control over their late-night eating pattern. Another cause of night eating syndrome is a delay in the circadian rhythm when it comes to food intake. Your circadian rhythm is the clock in your head that runs on a 24-hour cycle. When it's running on time, it helps keep your sleeping and eating patterns on track. But when it's not, these patterns get disrupted. There's also speculation that N.E.S could be linked to lower nocturnal levels of melatonin and leptin, which are hormones that regulate sleep and hunger respectively. Interested yet? Make sure you join our millions of followers and hit that subscribe button for all of our great Bestie content. Now, let's tell you about a few symptoms of N.E.S. Number 1. People with night eating syndrome still eat during the day. They usually do not feel hungry in the early part and may delay their first meal for many hours. Then later, after the evening meal, they may eat more than a quarter of the food they eat each day. Number 2. This pattern of eating cannot be explained by changes in a person's sleep schedule or social routines. For example, customs that eat late at night. People with this problem feel upset about their night eating. Number 3. People with night eating syndrome also have sleep problems, including difficulty falling and staying asleep. They're more likely to be obese, and depression is common. Number 4. Night eating syndrome is different from binge eating disorder. People with binge eating disorder usually do not binge between 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. But if they do, they eat large amounts of food in a single sitting. People with night eating syndrome tend to eat a smaller amount of food many times during the night. Finally, here are a few strategies to stop night eating disorder. Number 1. Be active. Engaging in regular exercise is also necessary for addressing night eating syndrome. Any exercise is good. It doesn't have to be the high-intensity stuff. Exercise is beneficial because of the positive effects it has on sleep. We know that regular exercise does wonders for our sleeping patterns, including enriching the quality and quantity of our sleep. And people with night eating syndrome are notoriously poor sleepers. In fact, a huge reason why people eat so much at night is because they can't initiate or sustain sleep. So, You need to find methods that increase the likelihood of better sleep, and one of the better evidence-based techniques to achieve this is regular exercise. We suggest engaging in at least 30 minutes of exercise daily and slowly increasing this over time. Exercises do not have to be a chore. There are many that are easy and give effective results. Learn more about them by watching 10 effective and quick exercises to get rid of stubborn belly fat. Now, back to what night eating syndrome is and everything you should know about it. Number 2. Monitor your eating patterns. Self-monitoring involves in-the-moment recording of relevant thoughts, feelings, and behaviors related to eating. Part of the reason why you might always be hungry at night is because you're unfamiliar with your daily eating patterns. In order to change your night eating behaviors, the first thing you need to do is observe, analyze, and become fully aware of your eating patterns. By this, we mean knowing what you eat, when you eat, how much to eat, and what you were thinking at the time, what you were feeling at the time, and your level of hunger before, during, and after each eating episode. Documenting all of this information will help you go a long way towards helping you identify any patterns and in understanding why you're constantly eating at night. Number 3. Don't skip meals. The vast majority of night eaters don't eat very much during the day. This needs to change. A big reason why you're eating most of your calories at night is probably due to the fact that you're starving come evening time. Your body is craving food since it's been deprived all day. You have to ensure that you balance the ledger. Spread your calories out throughout the entire day. This may seem obvious, but you'll be surprised to know that night eaters don't actually recognize this. So, you need to adopt a pattern of regular eating. This means 3 to 4 snacks and 3 meals a day, no more than 3 hours apart. The volume and calorie content across the meals and snacks should be roughly similar. So, each night, write down the exact times you're going to eat your meals and snacks. Make sure to stick to these times too. Number 4. The bedroom is off limits. Don't worry, we don't mean that you can't sleep in your bedroom. Rather, if you want to stop binge eating at night, then you have to completely stop eating in the bedroom permanently. It's likely a lot of your night eating episodes are happening alone in the bedroom. This is a real problem because now the bedroom has become a conditioned stimulus. In other words, whenever you go in the bedroom, the hunger signals in your brain will light up and you'll feel compelled to eat. You need to apply basic classical conditioning principles. The extinction principle, in fact. Extinction means that you completely prevent the conditioned response, which is eating, from occurring whenever you encounter the conditioned stimulus, which is the bedroom. So, with enough repetition of this extinction principle, you'll no longer feel hungry, compelled to eat, and obsess around food whenever you step into your bedroom. Number 5. Implement relaxation strategies. There's no doubt you'll experience another urge to eat during the night. You need to remember that urges come and they go. You just need to prevent the urge from getting the better of you or acting on it. What better way to do that than through relaxation exercises? Relaxation exercises like mindfulness meditation and progressive muscle relaxation prevent you from acting immediately on an urge. This is because it helps you to step back, observe your thoughts in a non-judgmental fashion, and realize you need not give in to every impulse that serves no useful function. By focusing all your attention towards the relaxation task, you'll quickly realize that the urge decreases substantially in intensity, and over time, the urge will essentially become non-existent. One of the best ways to tackle night eating syndrome is to get a good night's sleep, and you can do so by eating the right kinds of foods. Learn what we're talking about by watching 6 best foods that'll help you sleep better instantly, or 7 milk drinks that'll help you sleep faster and better. So go ahead and watch one or both of these videos for maximum benefits. Do you know anyone who suffers from night eating syndrome? Let us know in the comments below.